Hey guys, and welcome to another Polymer clay tutorial. Today we are going to create this battleground in the jungle map Huey versus the T55 from the game War Thunder. Today's video is sponsored by War Thunder, and this is the award-winning cross-platform and free-to-play combat MMO. You know, I am much of an historic geek, and I love it when game publishers pay attention to details in their games, especially when they are based on historic facts. Well, War Thunder is one of these games where all the, and you probably know that, 1,000 playable vehicles just blow your mind when you even think about the thousands and thousands of hours which go into creating all these 3D models. I know how much work it can be to create just one clay model. And the game features aircrafts, tanks and ships and even helicopters from the 1930s to 1990s. And today we will create the battleground with 2 fighting vehicles. But before, let's focus on the battleground. I choose the map Jungle, and this is a ground force map which is set on the coast of a tropical island with palm trees and other tropical vegetation. And the map, the Guadalcanal campaign, I guess it's pronounced Guadalcanal, Guadalcanal, also known as the Battle of Guadalcanal, under the code name Operation Watchtower, was fought between August 7th, 1942 and February 9th, 1943 around the islands of Guadalcanal in the Pacific during World War II. And I was able to use a lot of old clay which went into these tiny hills. It's always good to have some spare old clay at the side so that you don't have to use all your fresh and new clay blocks, which just looks so innocent clean. So, after we covered this whole scenery with ochre, I mixed in some gray as well and some, it's called sand, the sand color, which is often used for modeling puppets to imitate the skin color, bright skin color. And now we took some brown clay as the base layer for the grass, and now we can place these thin layers of green clay. I mixed in some brighter green clay, you have seen that, so that it looks a bit more natural and that you don't have just one color for the grass, for example. The same also for the ocean, for the water, bright blue, dark, rich blue, green, and also a little bit of white. And you don't even have to mix it that strong, because you can already hear the waves in the water. It looks really fascinating and realistic, I think. And we will even add our liquid clay. I have used that one a lot lately, but it's also such a fascinating material because it is getting transparent after oven hardening. We make a dark blue outline right under the ocean, adding some more dark waves and all the rocks, and there's even one right in the middle of the water. And hopefully it will look great when the waves are splashing against this strong rock. Well, just use my toothbrush again to make this rough surface. And some white clay for all the bubbly water, which is a bit brighter right at the connection part to the coast. And this is some real sand. I found that one in the desert myself when I was in Africa, and I kept it. And now there is a use for that. Take some aluminum foil, and this will be the barrier for the liquid clay, which we are about to use right now. Here we go. Oh, take a brush and we try to get it all over the place, all over the water spots. Clean your brush afterwards, otherwise you will ruin it. And we are ready to go into the oven. Freshly baked tropical island without any palm trees. Remove the foil and we can take our scissors to cut away these extra pieces of liquid of transparent clay, or use a knife for that. And we take the transparent polish for a nice shiny finish on the water surface. It should look like as if the water is so realistic. Okay, let's put this aside and we are focusing on the helicopter. The model I am using in my creation is the Huey. And there was a recent update, I think 1.8, something like that. And the developer recently added modern attack helicopters. And you can even fly the one I am crafting today, the UH-1 Turquoise, or more commonly known as the Huey. It's the well-known American helicopter developed in the late 1950s in response to the US Army to their demand for better utility helicopters. And the one I am using, I looked it up, it's the UH-1C, and this one made its way to War Thunder. The look and the shape of this helicopter is quite iconic, because it was used a lot in the Vietnam War. And this is why I also took this one. I really like how it looks, especially with the anti-tank missile batteries at each side of the helicopter, and we are creating them right now. This was a bit tricky and difficult to create, as the missiles had to be that tiny, and later we even tried to create two missiles which are flying in the air in the final version of my creation. So, finishing the two batteries. And after that we will focus on the other details on the helicopter. There are two red fins on the back side of the helicopter. All the other colored parts I will paint after oven hardening, because they are so tiny, and if I had used clay, even very thin layers of colored clay, it would have gotten too thick. And I wanted to avoid that, well, except for these two green areas on the roof. And these are the two missiles I tried to create. I'm not making them very detailed because they are that tiny, but I think they look okay. So, now let's focus on the second vehicle, which is the T55. It's a Russian medium tank with powerful guns, and for me also very iconic, with its two searchlights presented on the turret. And when it comes to design comparison between the Huey and the T55 in my tutorial, I would probably go with the tank and would give him the win in the battle scene. But as the Huey is new to the game and it was so fascinating to finally use also the combat helicopters and also with the anti-tank missiles, I decided that the Huey would win. This also made the whole process of creating way more easy, because I didn't have to create the whole model, but only the pieces which are blown up, flying through the air, and which will be mixed with the wool for the explosion effect after oven hardening. So, that's it for the tank. Let's now create some of the palm trees and some of the vegetation. I ended up using only the palm trees because I thought this would be enough for the whole scenery. These are all the leaves, and I'm using my scalpel to get in all the details, and we are ready to go into the oven. freshly baked vehicles and also the palm trees, we start assembling the Huey. And I am using different colors, many different colors, to get all the details into the tiny model. Well, I should have taken gray. I think the black was a bit too strong. I tried to remove it afterwards with my fingernail. And the effect was quite nice, because now you have some scratches and some tiny damages, and it looks even more realistic, I think. Well, for the glass, for the windows, I was not able to create them transparent so that you can look inside, but I think the effect with a white pen also looks quite nice. So on the back fin there is a US flag as well, and these stripes, blue, white and red, some more red details on the side, and this dot. And we will glue the missile batteries to the side, each of them, and also the two red back fins. The last detail is glued to the model, and now this is the solution I came up with to create the moving rotor blades. This is a circle cutter. It's quite helpful for this transparent paper, for example. After that, I glued my white pen. I attached it to that to get the moving effect. You can also take black. It would have looked also nice, I think. And this is the rotor blade, the small one on the back side, and we will glue it to the fin, adding the bigger one, and now the trees. Before the tutorial is over and you want to know how to get the game War Thunder, it is available as a free-to-play game on PC, Mac, Linux, PlayStation 4 and soon also free-to-play on Xbox One. So you can drive or fly almost anything World War II and the Cold War have to offer in stunning detail and very authentic, including the two iconic vehicles we've built today. So be sure to check it out. Just click the link in the description to get started and get a free premium tank or aircraft and 3 days of premium account time as a bonus. Placing the last palm tree and also the steam coming from the two missiles which are about to hit the tank. And guys, I guess that's it! Guys, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial as much as I did creating this battleground from War Thunder. Check out the game, just click on the link down in the description and let me know what you think. I guess that's it for today. Have a great weekend. Take care guys. See you next week. Bye.